found a little way to make money years ago. So what I used to do was I used to pick up shoplifters and take them out of town, because the shoplifters were known in the local town, and because I had a car in the early days of drug addiction, I'd pick up a load in the morning, drive them to some little village in the middle of nowhere. They'd go out and steal their little 20, 30 quid's worth of meat and that, and then what I'd do, I'd get half of it because I was the driver, so I'd get half of 2 or 3 people's cuts. And they were quite happy going out, like stealing 20, 30 quid's worth and that, and I thought, do you know what? After doing this for about a month, I was like, I could probably get away with this myself. How hard can it be? Yeah. So I started going into shops myself, and I started driving around to these little villages myself, and I wasn't a known shoplifter, so I was getting away with it. I would walk into a shop and clear a shelf, but I took it to another level. I built up a customer base. I was selling it to pubs, restaurants, any mechanics. You can walk in and just say, guys, anyone want to buy this? But everything was half price, you know. I didn't do them deals like 5 quid, and I didn't steal like the £3.50 steaks. Yeah. If I went into M&S, I'd find the 22, 25 pound steaks, and I'd take the shelf for those, all the good stuff. If I'm going to steal something, I'm going to steal it if it's worth money. In the end, I was making about £1,000 a week, just driving around and selling. I used to take it to some people. Every 2 weeks I'd do my round, so I'd rotate it to different people every day for 2 weeks. I had enough customers. So I'd only ever steal it if I knew I could sell it, and I knew I could sell it. And that escalated very, very quickly. I'd go out like in the morning. I mean, one time me and my friend went out, and we'd done a load of Marks and Spencers because she had a customer, multi-millionaire customer, that wanted half-price meat. We nicked £600 worth of meat in a morning, right? And took it up, bang, straight away, sold it to them, not a problem. They went through, checked the prices, added it all up, divided it by 2, and we got the rest. It was 2 hours work, like 2 or 3 hours work.
Well, I'm gonna rewind a little bit there. A multi-million pound customer.
Yeah.
But still want half price meat.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, these people, they've got all that money,
all that money, really. Deal's a deal, right?
A deal's a deal, you know, and it would suggest to me that maybe that money wasn't made completely legitimately as well.
Yeah.
That's how people stay. You'd be amazed at who would buy meat from me.
You'd be amazed at how
like, oh, can you get this? I was known as the butcher. My nickname was the butcher because I supplied that much meat. One guy said to me once, he said, Chris, my missus has gone mad. I can't fit any more in a freezer. Yeah. My offer to him, I'll nick you a new freezer for your garage. He's like, you need to leave this place now. So I just found someone else, gave him a couple of weeks till he let that lot, and went back and done it again. I actually had a jacket. It was like a waterproof hiking jacket, but it had a waistband inside it that you couldn't see from the outside. It looked like a normal jacket that hung down. But inside, and it wasn't built for shoplifting. I soon realised if I'd done that up, I could have my zip halfway down, and anything I threw into my jacket would just land in that and catch in that, and you couldn't see, so I'd just walk out normally. I could put my hands up, security stopped me, I just put my arms up like that, nothing falling out my jacket, and I'd be full of steak. Absolutely full of steak. Because I didn't like going in with bags. I always thought it was suspicious if you walk in with a rucksack or you walk in with this. Some of the shoplifters that I knew before, they'd go in and they'd mull around for 10 minutes, they'd pretend to be buying things, and they'd be all undercover and all sneaky and like this. I'd go in, I knew where the meat counters were in the shops. I'd go in, fill up my jacket, and I'd be out within seconds. 30 seconds in and out of that shop. No one's seen me, no one knows it's been stolen until they do their stock take. Then I got to the point of getting, them sporting ski bags. The big Sports Direct bags.
Oh, yeah.
I'd take one of those in with me. But I'd have gym stuff in it, and I'd pull a towel up so it looked full. Yeah. And what I'd do then, I'd have the towel in one hand on the handle, stop by the meat, empty the shelf, literally as much as I could get in within the time limit, like bang, off the shelf, whatever it was. Yeah. Pull the towel over, pick the bag, and I'd be off. Minute max maybe, and I'd be out 200-300 quid's worth of meat in a bag. And I could sell that for 100-150 quid. But I was stealing a lot of diesel as well, so. And this goes back years. When I was 17 in my first car, that Nova that I told you about, I was in a petrol station and I overheard someone say, I forgot to bring my wallet with me. So my ears pricked up. I was like, oh, this person's getting arrested. Yeah. And they went, oh no, just fill out this form, make sure you come back within 7 days. So my brain, the way that it works, was like, right, what's going on here? I need to try this. So I waited a week and I went back to this petrol station. I said, I forgot my wallet. He said, no worries, come back in 7 days, just need you to sign this bit of form. I said, all right, no worries. And I held on to that for years. When I fell into addiction, I made the most of that. I was filling my car up twice a week, 70 odd quid twice a week, but more than, and just driving off. Sometimes I'd go in and say, right, I forgot my wallet, and then obviously I've been in a few minutes, so I would just fill up and drive off. I think, I can't remember what they call it now, bilking. I don't know why it's called that, but bilking. And what I then started doing was this easy to steal diesel. So I had a big Jeep at the time, and I got these massive 25-gallon drums.
Yeah.
I had 5 or 6 of them kicking about, so I'd fill the boot with those, go to a petrol station and fill them up, just pull them around to the side, quickly, like I say, in, fill up. I'm not looking around, I'm not looking suspicious, I'm just filling up a 25-gallon drum. That one's full, the next one got filled up. Normally the pumps would shut off around the 90 quid mark, so I learned to fill up with 80 quid in one place, put them in the car, get in, drive off, go to the next garage and fill it, and keep doing that till I filled them up. Again, I could sell them for half price, especially diesel, because anyone that buys stolen diesel normally buys stolen red diesel, because people want it from farms.
And that end.
I could charge a premium because I was stealing it straight from the forecourt. You know, stupidly, again, I never got caught, like the shoplifting, I never got caught for it. I think I had one charge of bilking, which was like 35 quid I had to pay back to one garage, and I was stealing probably £200-300 worth of fuel a week as a minimum, week in, week out. Add that to the £900, £1,000 I'm earning out of shoplifting, and it all went on drugs. You know, I had to fund my habits somehow, and that's how it became. At first it was like, right, I've got a few quid, I'm all right, and then obviously the drug use went up, the intake went up. I got to the point where the police actually took my car. It was like a few days out of tax, and they knew what I was doing in the car, but they couldn't catch me. They hadn't been lucky yet. And it was only a matter of time. I get that. I was lucky, very, very lucky. But if they had pulled me over, I mean, we went to Marks and Spencer's once. I'm not going to say where it is, so I don't want to drop myself in it. But you go in the front door, the meat's all up this right, and there's a back door there. So you can literally walk in one door, load up your bag as you're walking through and go straight out the back door. I come out that back door and there was blue lights down by my car, so I peeked around the corner and the police are there. So I dropped the bag, hid it in the car park, went round, hello officer, how are you? You're parked on the hatching of the zebra crossing. I said, oh sorry, I was just in the shop, officer. He said, well you're only a couple of foot over it. He said, but don't do it again mate, will you? I said, yeah, no problem. And then the police drove off, my heart was racing, but I kept cool. The police drove off, I went straight back into that car park, picked up my bag of meat, went in and went and got me 100 quid.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. I thought I was Al Capone or something, you know, and I'm just a little shoplifter, but I was earning a few quid. The police ended up taking off my car off me anyway. And that was where the problem started, because, I mean, not where the problem started, but it caused a big problem. Because now I have all these meat deliveries I need to meet. I mean, I wasn't contracted to do it as a legal business, but
that's how you make money.
That's how I made money. And my habit now, I'm doing 100 quid worth of heroin and £50 worth of crack day in, day out. I can steal that much meat, where am I going to sell it, because I can't drive to these people. My drug habit became so bad, I had to get a job. And this guy said, look, I'll give you a chance, but you only get one chance. So I took him up on his offer. I'd get up at 6 o'clock every morning. I'd go and I'd shovel between 20 and 60 tons of sand into a machine, between 100 and 300 bags of cement into the same machine, every day, day in, day out, to earn enough money, because the more we done, the more we got paid, to earn enough money to continue with my habit. Other people said, Chris, how'd you do it? You want £100 a gear a day, how do you get out of bed? I said, if I don't get my drugs.
Yeah.
You know, like if you don't go shoplifting, you don't get your drug. If I don't go to work, I don't get mine. And somehow, I managed to do that job until the police issued a warrant for my arrest. In the end, I handed myself in to High Wycombe Police Station at about, I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning. And they said, why have you come here at 5 o'clock in the morning? I said, because I know I'm going to prison. And I know the bus goes at 8 o'clock, and I didn't want to spend the night in your cell before I went away. So yeah, I got into prison. They drug tested me and done all that sort of stuff. And they said, we're going to put you on a methadone script.
That was gonna be my next question. Like,
Yeah.
what do they do?
Yeah, they put you in
Knowing
methadone.
the situation that you're
I mean,
in,
you
what
can
do
choose
they-
not to go on it, of course, but I was like, no, I need something. I don't know what's going on. You know, I was still very, very weak. I was down to 9 stone from all the drugs and all the work that I've been doing. There was nothing of me. I was wasting away. So I thought they
Do
should.
they actually try and get you off of it in there? Do
You
they
can-
actually
you
help?
can-
Is it-
There
because
were drug
prison-
services,
prison-
but-
prison is about rehabilitation, right?
No, prison's
They-
about. Prison should be about.
But that's what
That's what they tell you
saying.
it's about. No, it's not. It's about punishment.
Right.
So yeah, I went in and they prescribed me methadone. So they come to give me my first lot, and it was 5 mil. Bearing in mind, I'm coming off 100 quid's worth of heroin a day, £50 worth of crack. So I should have been on about 60 mil. They said, we can't put you up because you've never been on a methadone script before. We need to know that you're not allergic to it, you're not going to react badly to it. So it took the next week or so to build me up to the 40. So, and I was in an isolation cell because it was the end of COVID. 12 days in a box on my own. I got onto the ring and he shouted, he's like, Chris, I heard you were coming in. I was like, I didn't know you were here. So I'm locked away. They was putting extra food through my black every night. They managed to start putting a bit of weight back on. So HMP Bullingdon, they moved me across to, after 12 days isolation, they said, right, you've definitely not got COVID. We'll put you into the main wing, you're going on to D2. I was like, yeah, no problem. They put me in with somebody else. A guy called Maury or something his name was. He thought he was a tough nut, but every night he'd lie there crying. You know, he'd be like, oh, fucking junkies, you're a junkie in my fucking cell and all this. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about this at the minute, but give me a couple of months, you'll get a slap. I heard everyone be opened up. I think they just started opening up again to go and get food. But there was no education, there was no jobs to go out, there was no activities, no gym, no yard time or anything like that. It was just go and get your food and back into your cell, 23-hour banger. I've heard all the noise outside, so I know it's lunchtime, yeah? And then it's gone quiet. I'm like, hang on a minute, they haven't opened us up. So I said to him, I said, why haven't they opened us up yet? Do they do it later? He went, oh no, they'll be run later. I said, well, I don't think they will, mate. You know, where everyone else has had their lunch, it's gone quiet. He said, well, just don't make, so I hit the cell bell. Kicked the door anyway, officer come straight to the door. Because of COVID, they had to turn straight up. Normally it's half hour, 45 till you see anyone at your door when you press the cell bell.
Yeah.
Which is a problem if someone's bleeding to death.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, they turned straight up. I said, why have you not let us out for lunch? I'm starving. They said, oh, your pab mate tested positive for COVID this morning. Man, they said, you're on a 10-day lockdown. I didn't come out of that, so I'd done 12 days in isolation, and they put me into here, and I've done another 10 days behind the door.
With someone that
flipping
you...
idiot. Yeah. Luckily, he got shipped out on New Year's Eve. I don't know why, but he did. They come and got him, and he did. So I spent New Year's Eve on my own in prison. It was lovely. And when he moved out, I got my neighbour to come in, who was that Ryan guy I said about, you know, the one that punched the door. He ended up having a spice attack, biting his own tongue. So yeah, it's hideous stuff. So I'm kicking off the door now. This young lad is convulsing on his bed. I just heard him go. I was like, what the hell? And I put him in the recovery position. I'm kicking the door. There's all claret all over, all blood all over his face, and his tongue's hanging out his mouth. And like, he's just looking at me in the eye, and I could just see he's only 19, and all I could see was fear. And he's like, I'm kicking the door, screaming, Gav, you need to come and get. They took about half hour to come up and open the door. I went, what's the fuck? When they opened the flat, I went, oh, all right, and they hit the alarm, so all the other officers come. They moved me out the cell. He's still fitting, bearing in mind. He's been going for about half an hour now. So they put me in like an empty office at the end of the wing, like a recreation room or something. Yeah. And I've seen a governor go past towards my cell. I thought, that's not good if the governor's here. Then I see another governor go past. I thought, that's definitely not good. Then the ambulance crew went in. And then they wheeled him out. And when he come past, I could just see him through these barred windows that go onto the wing. And he just put his thumb up. You know when Terminator goes into the molten lava and his thumb goes up?
Yeah.
It was like that as he was going past. He went, his poor little face like that. And then I didn't see him again until a couple of days later when he come out of hospital. We covered it up this time. I said, he hadn't eaten his dinner that night. So he said, do you know, has he taken anything? I said, Gov, you know I won't allow drugs in my cell. You know, I'm on methadone, I'm trying to get clean. I wouldn't have any of that in my cell at all. He's not ate his dinner I just clocked his dinner plate there, luckily. Yeah. And the way that my brain was like, he's not ate his dinner for about 3 or 4 days. Like, oh, okay. They got the meds crew in. They said, oh, what we think is he's not had enough food. He's gone into like a sort of fit or state because his sugar levels have dropped too much or something. I can't remember what it's called. And I got him off a bit, so he loved me after that.
Yeah.